what I typically have. I'll go over here and make sure. Yeah, my name is Bible is typically got first service supplies. Put it on our Facebook, promoting it supposedly.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know if you can hear it.
Can you hear me, Peter?
See, now I don't go back now. Go back and check it. Click it and see where. I don't know. Now I can go down here, I guess, and see.
Facebook
And YouTube.
and YouTube, yeah.
What's ours? Is it West Plains first? Random.
We'll try to call you out if we've got a question for you.
Hey friends, it's time for a timeout.
So grab your favorite beverage and your favorite chair and join us on today's show. Get ready to send us your comments and questions for our incredible guest. I'm your host, Steve Francis. It's going to be a great night on Time Out with Steve. Hey everybody, welcome in. We're glad you're here tonight. We're back at the beach, and I've got a co-host tonight, Austin Riggs.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. So I've drug him down to the beach with me, and we're going to have a great night, hopefully.
Yeah, we are. I can't wait for this.
It's exciting. We've already checked in on our guest, and we're going to show him to you in just a second. I hope you guys are all well with all the kind of world starting back up. I hope you guys are doing good. We had church Sunday for the first time.
Oh, wasn't it nice?
It was good. It's good to just see people.
Yeah, it was.
And I've eaten out twice now. How about you?
Yeah, I have a couple times as well. It was kind of weird.
It has been. It has been.
Yeah.
So we've been eating at home so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been kind of awesome. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining us tonight on the show. And send us your comments. We've already gotten several over here. Let me pop some of these in. We've got Patsy North. Hey, Miss Patsy. Thanks for joining us. Got John Williams says he's watching. Hey, Mr. John, thanks for joining us. Susan Cox says she's watching. Hey, hey, hey. Wilda Pingle says hi.
Miss Wilda.
Welcome in. These are my parents, Mom and Dad. So, hey, Mom and Dad. And Linda Collins is watching. So,
all right.
Welcome in, guys. Glad y'all are here. Send us your comments. Let us know you're watching. Maybe give us some questions for our guests. We'll try to trick them a little bit.
That's
on
right.
Some questions. Yeah. Okay, so we got to start with a dad joke. I start every show with a dad joke. Yeah. So here's my dad joke. What do you call a fake noodle? What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. An impasta.
I like it.
Yeah. Ta-da, ching. Okay, good. Well, let's get right to it tonight. We got some great guests. Really glad they're joining us. We have more than one guest. This is the first time I've had more than one guest.
There's a bunch of us on here.
I've always just had one guest. Tonight I have 4 plus you.
Right. There's a lot of us.
We've got a good crew tonight. What we're doing this week on tonight's program and Thursday night's program is we're going to feature our high school graduates.
Yes.
Who are a part of our church. There are many in the community who are awesome. Yes. And we're kind of bummed for them because their whole year has changed with this whole Corona deal. And so we wanted to at least feature and let you meet and hear the story of our folks or our students. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're doing this week. We've got 4 tonight, and we're going to have 4 or so on Thursday night.
That's right, yeah.
And so we're just ready to jump right in. So here we go. I want you to meet our guests tonight. And everyone say, hey. Hey, guys.
Give us a wave.
Give us a wave. We're live. Welcome in. It's good to see y'all. So we have Chrissy Harrell. Give us a wave, Chrissy. Hi. She's a sweetie. She's kind of shy. And then we've got Min Den down here. Give us a, oh yeah, peace, brother. And then we've got Chevy Rodman. Give us a wave, Chevy, who's sitting in his truck. We'll talk more about that later. And we have Peter Zellers. Hey, Peter. Awesome. Welcome in, guys, and happy graduation, right?
Yeah.
You made it, or we think you did, right? Woo! So tell us what you've been up to. What since school got canceled and crashed, and what have you guys been up to for the last month and a half, 2 months? Anybody? Sleeping. Working. Chevy says working. Min says sleeping. What else? Peter, Chrissy. Go ahead, Chrissy.
Oh.
Smarty, Peter, yeah. Now, Peter, you and Chrissy go to the same school, correct? Okay, cool. So you guys had a little bit similar plan there. So that's good. So talk to us about real quickly where you guys each are from or grew up. Chrissy, let's start with you.
I've only lived in West Plains. So.
Okay. So we just had an error, guys, on our show, our first errors. I'm so excited we got so many guests that I didn't have you guys unmuted for the program. So rewind real quick. We've got Chrissy, Min, Chevy, and Peter. And Min's been sleeping, and Chevy's been working, and Peter and Chrissy have been doing their work online and some college work. Is that a good recap since I didn't have your sound on? Duh.
Pretty good.
Okay, so I was just so excited we've got more than one guest tonight. I was so happy to see you guys. I didn't unmute you. Okay, so we're back, hopefully. So thanks for letting us know that, guys. Some of you messaged in, said we can't hear. Michelle Cobbin says can't hear. Michaela King says you can't hear Chrissy. I guess she only cares about Chrissy, huh? I don't know what's up with that. And now we got a smiley face that says we're back. Tiffany Burton says hi, seniors. So that's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, awesome. So let's get back. So Chrissy, we were talking about what were we talking about?
Where they grew up.
Yeah, where you grew up.
Yeah.
See, I've already forgot. So where did you grow up? Where are you from?
I was born in West Plains, and I have grown up in West Plains my whole life.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay. What about you, Peter?
I was born in Portland, Oregon,
Ooh.
but I moved here when I was really young, and I've lived here most of my life, only interrupted by a short bit of time overseas, like 2.5 years.
We're at overseas.
Albania. It's
Ooh.
a small country that borders Greece. It's in the Mediterranean.
So what language do they speak there?
Albanian.
Okay. Do you know any?
Shumpak. Shumpak. It means very little. That's basically all I remember because it was funny to say.
Yeah.
How old were you when you were there, Peter?
We moved there when I was 9.
Uh-huh.
I had my 9th birthday. No, we were 8. I was 8. So I had my 9th birthday there, and then we moved back here when I was 11.
Oh, wow. So you've got quite a few memories from your time in Albania.
Oh, yeah.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
Okay, Chevy. What about you? Where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I'm from Izard County, Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
More specifically, Oxford, Arkansas. And we moved here when I was about 5, I believe. And
Okay.
been here ever since.
Do you know how to call the hogs?
Yep.
Attaboy. Okay. Just making sure.
You're kind of from Arkansas, or at least got some connections. to
Yeah, I was
Arkansas.
born there.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's a deal in Arkansas to call the hogs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Did they ever come?
Well, we try to get them to win.
Okay,
That's the goal.
That's the goal. All right, Min, what about you? Where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I was born in Arlington, Texas, and then shortly after I was born, my parents split up, and so my brothers told me, I don't remember, of course, but they told me that we lived in California for a bit, and then we lived in Ohio for a little bit, and then we moved to Poplar Bluff, and then I grew up the next 10 years there, and then we moved here to West Plains.
So how long have you been in West Plains?
I think 6 years now.
Okay,
6
cool.
or 7.
Cool. So you
All
got
right.
probably got some stories at some point we could talk about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I think we kind of covered this, but Chrissy and Peter, what's the name of the school you guys attend?
We go to Ozarks Christian Academy.
Okay. And you guys have pretty much went there your entire education. Is that correct?
I have since kindergarten.
And Peter, since you've lived in West Plains, I would guess, right?
Yeah, once we moved back, we did a couple years of homeschooling again, and then I started in 7th grade.
Cool. All right, Chevy, where you guys go to West Plains? Is that accurate?
Yeah.
So Chevy,
Who are you?
what's that?
Or
I
used
went
to.
to Richards Middle School
Okay.
Awesome.
and then moved to the high school. So
And then you're doing something a little different your senior year. You're not really at the high school, are you, Chevy?
no, not really. I'm more of a student at the South Central Career Center.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing an apprenticeship through Gobles Collusion. It's a 3-year apprenticeship. I've got about a year and a half, almost 2 done now, I think.
And what's
Whenever I
that?
get finished.
What's
Sorry,
the
go ahead.
What's the apprenticeship for? What area?
Auto body collision and repair.
Awesome.
And
So this goes back to why you're sitting in this truck. Tell us about the truck you're sitting in.
it's a 1976 Chevy C10, 6-cylinder, 3 on the tree, 2-wheel drive, long bed. Pretty base model truck, but I was kind of looking for a truck, found this, and it ran. I'm not great with motors, more body wise, but it ran, needs a little bit of work, so I bought it and been working on it now. So
Yeah.
All right.
So when we did a test call before earlier, about I don't know, half an hour ago, 45 minutes, and when we tested in, Chevy comes on and he's got the hood of his truck up. And all these wrenches clanging and banging around, and he's working on this truck, and we're like, okay, we don't mind you in the truck, but we got to drop the wrenches at least for our chat.
That's right.
All right, and Min, you're at West Plains also, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
So let's go in reverse. Min, what's your favorite subject?
I don't know. I would have to say science or math, just because they come easier to me. I don't
Okay.
know. And then English English not good. I'm not good with it.
So science and math, would that also include computers?
Yeah, a little bit, or just like electronics and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So Min was telling us earlier what he did today. What'd you do today, Min?
I went to Springfield, and I actually bought a new gaming mouse from this Facebook yard sale guy, and then I went to Best Buy and bought more electronic stuff. I won't go into detail about it.
You're pretty handy with all that IT stuff, though. You know what you're doing.
That kind of stuff. So I mean, I just won't go into it.
That's the
Yeah,
whole
that's
science
good.
and math. That's good. Okay, Chevy, what about you? Favorite subject? We might have already heard it. I don't know.
other than auto collision, to be history.
That's cool.
Why is that?
I probably just because we used to watch the documentaries with Dad all the time. I just always, that's what I knew.
Yeah, I love it.
So history, like related to the country, or like wars, or what? Is there a certain type of history you like?
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
Probably just a little bit of everything.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, Peter, what about you? Favorite subject?
I would have said math back like a couple years ago, but then I started taking rhetoric and I realized how useful it was, and it was really interesting. So I would probably have to say rhetoric, which is like speaking and presenting your ideas in a way that's eloquent and persuasive.
So would that be like debate?
Yeah, debate is part of it.
Okay. Cool. I could
That's
see you
awesome.
doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. All right, Chrissy, what about you? Favorite subject?
I don't know if it technically counts as like a subject, but my favorite class that I've had was a couple years back. We did a customs and culture class where basically our teacher just kind of took us through all the customs and the cultures of biblical times. And so we got to kind of like explore really a lot of the hidden meaning in the Bible of things that would just make total sense to people in that time, but that we don't exactly see at first when we read the Bible. And we got to eat a lot of really good food in the time. So it's good.
My kind of class.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's so much in Scripture that we lose just because our culture is different than theirs. That's awesome.
It's great. All right, so now let's flip. Let's go to the other side. What was, in your mind, the worst rule in school?
Oh boy.
Or the worst, like, I don't like this. I can't believe we have to do this. Or who came up with this rule? Or so, like, what's your like? I hate to use the word hate, and I've just said it twice now. But like, what would be the worst thing for you in school in the whole 12 years?
Are we starting with me?
Sure.
Well, being a private school, we have a lot more stricter things, and just comparing us to the public school, I think the thing that really got me the most was that we're not allowed to have our phones or like any electronics. We're not allowed to have any contact with the outside world while we're there unless it's like supervised. Our computers have to be facing the teacher. I was always like, why can't what am I gonna do? I don't understand. It was really frustrating, especially when I know that like all of my Echo peers got to like text each other or anything like that during the day. I just didn't get to do that. It was, yeah.
So it's kind of like lockdown, Corona, so to speak.
I mean, it's like at the public school, we just we find out.
Go ahead, man. You were saying something. Go ahead, man.
And now, like, everyone is a pro, like, getting past the firewall and stuff. Like, we know how to watch movies on the computers. We can play Minecraft with each other on the school computers.
It's a good thing you graduated. You might get yourself in trouble.
Everyone's taking the tests or something in my class, and we had the laptops and stuff, but I had, like, Moana downloaded on my Google Drive. And I found out that the laptops were new enough to where they could like Bluetooth to my AirPods. So I was listening to Moana while everyone else was finishing up their tests.
You're the kind of friend I need,
incredible.
That was the kind of high school experience I more wanted.
All right, so men, since you got in here, what's the worst thing for you from your school career?
I would say waking up so early is so tedious. Because like there's some jobs that you don't have to wake up like at 6 or 7 in the morning. That's my job right now. I work in like 4 at the earliest right now, 4 p.m. at the earliest.
Whoa.
And yeah, so I get off late. But I mean, waking up so early for school, it's really tedious, and it puts everyone in a bad mood in the first hour, which causes to get in a bad mood in the first hour, which causes like 2nd through 7th hour to have the rest of the bad mood.
So what you're saying is you're not a morning person.
No, definitely not.
So if you had a choice, what's your preferred wake up time?
Oh, preferred? Maybe double digits, maybe 10.
Okay, 10. Gotcha. So don't call them in before 10.
That's right.
All right, good. Chevy, what about you? What's the like, oh man, this kind of stunk for me for school?
Algebra.
You gotta take math.
That was the worst rule.
Anything past Common Core math.
So anything past 2 plus 2 is what you're trying to say.
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, you should have found a friend like men who like math and hooked up with him.
I know. I know. I didn't ever think of that.
At the public, a lot of people thought of that. They just kept getting homework from everyone else.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You just go to Google and do the same thing, though.
There you go. Just get a little help.
Yep.
All right, Peter, what about you? How would you answer that question?
There aren't that many rules at our school that I would be like, oh yeah, I hated that rule. It was more like the strictness in general. It was more like, I wish we just had more like individual freedom to do different things. But if there was one rule, then I would say it was that you can't drive other people out of campus, from on campus to off campus, unless you have a permission from their parents, because that, like, you can't plan things in school because you don't have your phone, and then so you have to like plan things way ahead of time instead of being like, you want to go eat.
Yeah.
So that was more annoying than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it stinks being an adult.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back the other way. A cool memory, a cool, like, something you did while you were in school. Again, any age, any grade, any location, but like, man, this was a highlight for me, or this was really cool, or this is a story I'm going to tell my kids someday, kind of thing. What was like, this was the top in my school career? Men's got something, so go for it, man.
Okay, I love telling the story. It's so funny. It's so bad though, but it's so funny. So, this was the start of last year. So it was when I was a junior. And let's see. So it's at the beginning of the school when they need you to like take back your handbook and get the back signed in over the weekend, Monday. And so I was looking through it that Friday, and I'm okay, so there's nothing in the handbook that says anything about wearing roller skates. And so, I ordered some roller skates, and they come in that Sunday. I was like, okay, sweet, it's game time, let's go. And so that Monday, I wear my roller skates to school, and and my first hour teacher was like, no. I was like, what? Got in conversation with her about how it wasn't in the handbook or anything. And I don't wear shoes than this, so I thought it out a little bit. And so I didn't have any other shoes. She was like, okay, that's fine. So I made it to first. And then on my way to second hour, so many teachers looked at me funny. Some of them were disappointed. Some of them were laughing. So it was a mixed emotion type of thing. And it was in the second hour where it was a junior meeting in the cafeteria. And so we all get in like our cafeteria seats and stuff for our junior meeting and everything. And Dr. Randolph, our principal, he's about to exit through the far side of the cafeteria, and our assistant principal, Mr. Hedden, has the mic, and he so subtly, like as he's talking and stuff, puts this in there. He's like, and men, after this meeting, I'm gonna need to talk to you. I was like, what? Because I didn't know how he spotted my roller skates, because like everyone was so packed and like our bags were everywhere on the ground. And so over the mic, he says that, and everyone looks at me, and then it gets really bad. He's like, actually, Dr. Randolph, you could probably handle this right now. And as he's walking so far away, he turns around and he's like, handle what? And Mr. Hennon says, you'll know when you see it. And so I get up, and I like, my head stays the same level. I roll out the side exit, and I get chewed out pretty bad by Dr. Randolph, and I didn't get my roller skates back for like 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Did they have that in the handbook the next year?
I don't know. I haven't checked it, but I think I'm definitely the reason why weird topics get brought up at school board meetings.
That is awesome.
Wow, that's
I
a
love
great
it.
story. All right, Chevy, what about you? You got a story or a highlight?
Does it have to be related to school, or can it just be something like during high school time?
Yeah, go for it.
So, okay. So this last summer, the youth groups in town had a mainly just a TPing war, but it was supposed to be a prank war. And so I got TP'd the first night, and we got them back pretty good. It went on for a week or two, And then they decided they were going to try to TP me again. Well, Lane Jett, who was a senior last year, who's graduating in college playing football right now, he was the driver for their group. And they didn't know I was outside when they showed up to TP me. And so I pulled out my best ninja moves and snuck down to Lane's truck, and I got in Lane's truck and drove off while they were TPing my house.
It's good.
And I thought about just driving down CC and going to town, but it was about 12:30 at night. I didn't feel like going to town that late, so I just went around the block and came back and parked down the road from me. And about 15 minutes later, I'm on the phone with Langdon going, so what do I do now that I've got Lane's truck? And here comes Lane run up to the truck, and he kind of looks at me and goes, "Get out of my truck." Got out and started walking back to the house.
That's awesome.
So hopefully they didn't come back.
Yeah.
No, they didn't come back.
So it worked.
Joke was on them.
All right, Peter, what about you? You got a highlight or a great story?
Yeah. So I don't remember which year it was. It was probably last year. So me and a couple of friends had this idea. So our school doesn't do anything for Valentine's Day, like at all. So like it's just a normal day. So we decided we were going to try to make it, fun. So we got permission from the people, from like the people we needed to. But we like broke into the school after the night before Valentine's Day and put flowers in all of the girls' lockers and stuff so that when they opened them in the morning, so we wouldn't have to wake up really early to get there and do it. We just did it that night. So yeah, that was really fun. And we did that this year as well. I'm hoping that someone does it after we leave because
keeps the tradition going.
That would be great.
You started it.
I don't know why. I was just expecting like a mischievous type of story, but that was sweet. That's sweet.
I mean, I could, but I want to give myself like a good impression here.
Smart man.
Yeah, good call.
Smart man. All right, Chrissy, you got one? You got one for us?
Yeah. I still have that little plastic rose, by the way. That was really sweet. They didn't tell who it was either. All the girls.
No, we didn't take credit. We didn't take credit.
Well, now we know.
That's right.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. Anybody who's watching this stream, don't tell anybody at OCA.
Stays between us and everyone else on the internet.
They're in the circle.
All right, go ahead, Chrissy.
So this is kind of like an upper school secret. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be sharing this, but I'm going to. So in our rhetoric class, here's what I'm about to say. So there's 3 boys in particular that just give our teacher, they're just so rough with him and they are just constantly like trying to get something to happen. They're getting into stuff. And throughout the whole year, there was kind of a theme in their speeches of they wanted Josh Gale to give a speech on top of a school bus. And the entire year, Mr. Fessler was just like, no, we're not doing that. He was like, we cannot do that on school grounds. You are going to fall. I know it. And he was just so strict that we were not going to do it. And by the end of the school year, the whole class was like giving speeches about why he needs to get on top of the bus and give a speech and how like amazing it would be. And we're like, it's okay. We can drive off campus and it'll be fine. And one day he finally caved and he was like, okay, it's called Operation Big Bird and we are going to breakfast. So we're taking the school bus and that way we'll be off campus when we do this. And so on our way back, we stopped in a parking lot and he was like, everyone get out. And no one but the rhetoric class knew what was happening. And they were all like, what are we doing? And so we all file out and then we get out there and he's like, Gil, go up there. So then we're all just like standing around and then he climbs on top and he like emerges and he's like, yeah, and then we're all like screaming and we're like, speech, and he gets up there and he gives a speech and it was really awesome and we were all just so excited and Mr. Pusser was like, Operation Big Bird is a go. It was just really fun.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Great stories, guys. Okay, we want to fire a couple questions. Favorite thing to do or place to go? Favorite thing to do or place to go? Chevy, go first.
Work on vehicles.
Work on vehicles.
Love it.
Or
Awesome.
Gig Frogs. Gig Frogs is pretty fun.
What is
Okay,
it?
Yeah.
Gigging
Say it again.
Frogs.
Yeah, gigging frogs.
Oh, you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is Frog Jumping Day. It's a national holiday, Frog Jumping Day tomorrow. It's a happy holiday.
Ah.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, that's good.
It really is. It really is. It's a deal. I don't know if that means we're supposed to jump like a frog or jump over frogs, but it's Frog Jumping Holiday tomorrow. And I thought, oh, that's kind of hoppy. So you like to gig frogs? That's a nighttime thing, right?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I knew about gigging fish, but I didn't know about gigging frogs, so I
Yeah.
assumed it was a nighttime thing. All right, Peter, what about you? Favorite thing to do or place to go?
My favorite things to do are generally like really leisurely activities. So like eating, playing video games, and like playing music.
Chill.
So anything where I do that with friends is always good.
Love
Awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Chrissy?
I'm gonna go with favorite place to go on this one. So I've only been here once, but it was like favorite place I've ever been. We went to the Sequoia National Forest,
Ooh.
and we got to go hiking in their redwood forest, and it was just so beautiful. And we were in the mountains, and I climbed a lot of mountains that week. But I think that's probably my favorite thing to do is hike in the mountains.
Hiking.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
All right, man, what about you?
I like to be in my car.
Yeah, he's got a pretty cool car.
You like to be in your car? Okay.
Yeah, tell us about your car.
It's a 2-seater. It's a nice sports car, but I just like being in it because when my brother had it, he put in this 12-inch sub in the back trunk, but like it's only a two-seater, so like it's right behind my head.
Oh yeah.
And he changed out this the front system so it can play movies and stuff.
You need to take Pastor John King for a ride.
Yeah.
Your vehicle and his have some crazy similarities.
And like the seats like racing seats, so they hug me, and so I feel just so comfortable in there. It's so loud and comfortable. It's a nice time because not only I can watch movies and stuff, but like I can listen to music and like just in the own piece of my own head and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's cool. All right, we're getting lots of comments in. Jill Pietroburgo says, Chrissy, that is on my bucket list. That's when you were talking about the Redwood deal. Jeffrey Davis gives kind of a rolled eye. I think that's when we were talking about the bus or
I think it was
the
yeah.
Roses, one of the two.
Yeah.
And Frankie Hahn, when we were men talking about what time to get up, he says, when my eyes open would be ideal. So that's pretty good. Okay, another question. Favorite food? Favorite food? Oh, wait, so men, yours was your favorite thing to do is be in your car. Was that correct?
Yes.
We kind of cut that off there.
Yeah.
All right, so favorite food. Peter, why don't you go first? Favorite food?
I don't know that I could like nail it down to one food. Well, if I was to nail it down to one food, it would be like a good old cheeseburger, like really high quality. That would be like the one food. But
Do you go somewhere
if it was like a style,
do you go somewhere
Sorry?
to get that, or do you fix it at your home?
Either one.
Okay, curious. Go ahead. I was just curious
Yeah.
if there was a story there.
Yeah, and then like but I really enjoy like as a whole like Mediterranean food, like from Greece and that kind of stuff. Like that style of food,
That's
that
awesome.
culture is one of my favorites. Like to just eat. So
That's cool.
Cool. Chrissy, favorite food?
Um, trying to think about this one. There's so many that I just love. Can I go with like a genre on this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm probably just saying this because I had it recently and it was really good. Probably Thai food because I just went to the new Thai place in town and it was amazing.
Awesome.
so-
Okay.
It's probably just in my mind now.
Gotcha. My
Cool.
wife's been wanting to try that place.
It's really good.
All right, Chevy, favorite food?
I'm kind of with Peter. If I had to narrow it down, it'd be lasagna.
Okay, timeout. You got to tell everybody you don't call lasagna lasagna. What
Well,
is
I
it
know
at the
nobody
Rodman
else would
house?
understand if I said it.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
How do you
Spaghetti
say?
cake.
Oh,
What?
Say it again.
Spaghetti cake. Lasagna.
Spaghetti cake.
It's spaghetti, but it's in a layered cake form.
I have never heard that. Spaghetti cake?
Only from Chevy Dale.
Does the
It might be
spaghetti Does the spaghetti
Do
cake
I-
have icing?
No.
Okay, good.
Well, cheese, I guess, you know.
What's that mean?
I mean, maybe cheese. I mean,
Okay.
that'd be. Yeah.
Spaghetti cake.
It's a good one. Okay, lasagna, spaghetti cake for Chevy. Men, what about you? Favorite food?
spaghetti and meatballs, and chicken fettuccine alfredo is like a really close second.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's good.
hard to beat.
that's good.
You guys got some good choices going on here. Okay, someone on our chat says Pepsi, bologna, and cheese and chips. Pretty good. Nikki Hansen says coffee as a favorite food. Chrissy, she's related
Coffee
to you,
is
right?
great.
Do what?
She's related to you, right?
Yeah, that's my sister.
Yeah, she says coffee. And Peter says coffee is great.
Yeah, coffee would be like the one thing. If there was only one thing I could ingest for the rest of my life, it would probably have to be coffee.
Oh, wow.
It's so good.
So it's like a food group to you.
I depend on it. It's I have an addiction to coffie. And
How
I
do
will
you drink
readily
your
admit
coffee?
that.
How do you drink your coffee?
Black. I just drink it black.
Okay.
Atta
Yeah.
boy.
Okay. So
He grinds it before you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
grind your coffee.
I'm kind of a coffee snob. I really
Yeah,
enjoy
okay.
like good quality coffee.
There you go.
wow, awesome. Okay, so main reason Austin's on here is you're the youth pastor
Yeah,
at the church,
that's right.
and these are all part of your student ministry.
They are, yeah.
So they know you way more than they know me, of course, and which is really cool because you've been a part of their life and they've been a part of your life,
Yeah, they sure have.
and now they're going off, and hopefully both of you guys have done something to each other that's positive. So guys, could you like maybe summarize or quickly talk about what the church or what your relationship with the church has meant to you as kind of you've built your story and now your story's about to change? Would you guys feel comfortable just saying, hey, here's what the church has meant to me, or here's been my experience with the student ministry, or any kind of on that topic? Anything there kind of quickly? Chevy, you want to go first?
I can.
Okay.
I can't promise it'll be short, but I
Okay.
can. I've been going to this church ever since we moved up here, pretty much. There's a lot of people in this church that have made huge impacts on my life. Austin's a very, very big one. I mean, there's just so many amazing people who can do so many amazing things, and so many amazing stories have come from our church. it's kind of hard to summarize. I mean, it's just an amazing place where God is really active.
Cool. So it's like part of your family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Peter, what about you?
I would say like a couple of things that stood out like about being part of the student ministry was the worship and the missions. So the worship, I was on the worship team for a long time, and that just it helped me like get really invested in how it was like how the youth group was doing, whether or not it was like something that I could help with or not. Like it was just something that I like really focused on. And then the mission trips, especially like the Oklahoma mission trips specifically, those were always like really important to me, and I was really sad I didn't get to go on the last one. But yeah, those would be the two things that stood out.
Awesome. Min, what about you? Would you have something there?
Yeah. So I'm like fairly new to this church. I go to Genesis and have been for the last few years. But since we moved to Sunday evenings, I still wanted to do something on my Wednesday nights, and so it just felt like Echo was a good choice. But I've mainly been like involved with, I guess, the church is like through Austin because of FCA school, and so I've known Austin, which made the Wednesday night like transition a whole lot smoother, and everyone in the church was like super welcoming. Like
Good.
Day one, like everyone was so nice and welcoming, and I really hope to go on the next mission trip in Oklahoma with a youth ministry. I think it would be a lot of fun and exciting.
Yeah,
Cool.
man, we can't wait to have you. You have no clue what you're getting into, but it'll be a week you never forget.
Yeah.
You since you brought up FCA, you work with FCA, right?
I do, yeah. I love it. I mean, that's where Min and I met. He got involved in our leadership team pretty quickly. He was involved in it all 4 years of high school and gave testimonies and jumped in at middle school events and led and served so faithfully. Man, it was just really cool getting to know him through that ministry.
All right, Chrissy, what about you? You got a story about your time with the student ministry?
Well, kind of like Shepard said, I've just grown up in the church. My family has been going there since before I was born, so it's always just kind of been something that I know. It's always been there for me. It's kind of like with OCA and the church. I don't have any memories from before knowing those two places, and I just lean so heavily on both of them. And when I would get frustrated with either one, there was always the other to go to. And especially these last few years, I've really leaned so heavily onto the church, especially since Austin's come. I just remember, I remember when our last youth pastor left and everyone was just so mad. And we were like, I personally had a really bad attitude going into it. And then when Tiffany was like, Austin's coming, she was so excited. And I was like, whatever. And then Austin talked to me we were actually at a party at Tiffany's house, and he was talking to me, and he was just really getting invested in kind of what I thought could be going on in the youth group, which was something that, not that I wasn't used to, but that was just really refreshing. And then he was talking to me about the mission trips, and I was just like, I left that night so thrilled and so like excited to see what he was gonna do with the youth, and it has gone like beyond my wildest expectations. I love going on the mission trips that that started as an idea, and now it just holds such a special place in my heart and in many hearts of the youth. And youth is just so fun, and it's so inclusive, and it's grown a lot. And I just feel like I know all of the students there, and I can walk up and I can start a conversation with any of them just because we have that atmosphere. And I'm really, really going to miss that when I go off to SBU. But I am super thankful for the experience I've had here.
That's cool. So let's transition right there. You talked about your plans. Let's hear you guys' plans real quick. Chrissy, what's your plan?
I'm going to SBU in the fall.
And do you have a major yet?
I'm majoring in secondary education, but I'm not quite sure what I'm yet.
Okay, gotcha. Peter, what are your plans?
I'm going to be taking online classes this first semester at OTC in Springfield for a surgical tech degree, and then further into like pre-med and med school later down the road.
All right.
Wow.
You've got a lot of schooling ahead of you. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. But I enjoy school, so, you know, it's going to be great.
Okay,
That's
cool.
what I'm talking about.
So, Stephanie Barner gives us a heart. I assume that means she loves all you guys. I don't know.
I bet so, yeah.
That means. And Brittany Earl says, yes. Is that like yes?
I guess so. I think she's pretty excited. I think I know why. Chrissy, I bet you could answer that too.
My sister Brittany works at SBU. She's the president's assistant, and she is super excited for us to come to SBU.
So you get any perks with that?
Do what?
Do you get any perks with that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right.
Just the clout.
What's that?
I said she just gets the clout from it.
Yeah, you got it. So we got Chrissy and Peter. Chevy, what are your plans? Talk to us.
Finish my apprenticeship with Goebbels Collision and just continue working.
Awesome.
Yeah, that a boy.
Man, we need people like you. So keep at it, and we need some people in the labor force for sure. So that's awesome. Men, what about you? What are your plans?
SBU.
Yeah, another SBU guy.
Wow.
And I think it's going to be tons of, fun.
That will. Hey, what dorm are you staying in?
Landon.
Oh, yes, Landon Hall. Boy, there's lots of stories that come to mind when I think of Landon Hall. That's where I stayed. I was in First East. I was an RA there.
Oh, man.
You graduated from SBU,
I
right?
did,
Yeah. So he needs to hook you up.
I loved it. And if Brittany Earl's still listening, if there's any royalties that come from all these students from First Baptist coming to SBU, I can give you my address. That's no problem.
Exactly. Awesome. Okay, good. Well, so, man, we've been on for 48 minutes here, guys. This is like the longest I've ever been on a show. It's because everyone's so excited to hear about you guys. Y'all are actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool. And so what's really cool, I love this comment Dodie King put on here, which you guys may not all know her, but it's Pastor John's mother, actually, who lives in Louisville. And she says, so nice to meet you kids. Gives me hope. Best wishes. And I guess I just kind of maybe want to close there to say, let Austin, they've talked a little bit about how they feel about you in the student ministry. Maybe you could talk about them for a minute and kind of just close us out tonight.
Sure. This has been such a weird year for all of you guys, or for all the seniors. I mean, they've had this exciting time, and then coming into their last semester where all the fun things happen. There's at least with some of the students, senior skip day, and there's senior pranks, and there's all this stuff that happens with end of the year cookouts and picnics and all these different awards that they're going to get recognized for, and now none of that has happened. And first of all, I just hate it for y'all because I know how hard you've worked, and I know that you've been so anxious to get to this point, and now things have kind of been a letdown. But I just want all of you who are watching to know that although this school year might have been a letdown, these students sure aren't. I could go on for hours talking about these four and the rest of our graduates, just about about what great quality of students they are. Many of them coming from awesome homes where they've grown up in the church, but many of them might be first generation Christians. And how cool is it to see these people who didn't grow up learning about Jesus, who have been transformed by him and are now seeking to follow him in all of their life. Guys, I am blown away by you. I wish I would have had friends like you when I was in school, because you would have really challenged me in my faith. And I really sincerely mean that. And so I want to challenge you real quick with something. I'm going to try to do this in 2 minutes. I spoke at OCA's graduation last year, and in that graduation, I challenged their graduating class, Aubrey Craig, if you're still watching. I challenged her to be real careful what it is she's willing to trade when she goes to college. And I want to challenge y'all with that too. Guys, you have the opportunity to kind of be your own person, where many rules are going to, or at least many expectations are going to change for you, and you get to make a lot of decisions you hadn't in the past. And I told her that it's going to be real tempting, like you did at the lunchroom table in elementary school, to trade all that healthy food for the Fruit Gushers, right? But I'm telling you that just like Fruit Gushers might taste good for a second, they're not filling. And the things that you have learned from your families and from your schools, and specifically from your church, are things that are fulfilling. That's the well of water that's never going to go dry that you have. And so be very careful not to trade that off when you go to college, because I'm so proud of each of you, and I just want the best for each of you, and can't wait to see how it is God uses you in the next chapter of your life.
It's awesome. Man, we're proud of you guys. We love you guys. Hope you know there's a lot of people in your corner, and we're behind you. We're looking for great things, and we know you guys are going to do great things, and someday we'll say we knew you when, and because you guys are going places. Wasn't it Dr. Seuss that said that? The places you'll go.
Oh, the places you'll go, yeah.
So we believe in you guys, and think y'all are going to be great.
Yes.
So thanks so much for joining us tonight for the show, man. This has been a lot of fun.
And thanks for having me. This is kind of cool to be on this side of the camera.
Yeah, because you were in their seat a while back. It's fun. You guys did awesome, and thanks so much for taking a little time out tonight, whether you're in your truck or in your gaming room, to join us for the show. So thanks so much. And Thursday night we're going to have some more graduates.
That's right. We've got Abby and Daniel and Dakota and Katie.
Wow.
The 4 of them are going to be joining us.
So we got 4 more. And
that's right.
The challenge is on, because they'll have to be pretty good to top these 4 right here.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
These 4
I
are
bet
rock.
they can't do it.
These 4 are rock stars. Well, again, guys, thanks so much. We're going to sign off, and I hope you have a great week, and we're proud of you.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for joining us for this. Chrissy, Peter, Chevy, and Min, I love y'all like crazy. Thanks for joining.
Talk to you later.
See y'all.
Upset howdy.